recently you did two very interesting videos. One of them is called Umbermensch, and the other one is called I'm Scared.
Mhm.
In the Umbermensch video, you were very something that's very rare to see from you. A kind of emotional on declaring yourself. I'm Umbermensch, and there's
Mhm.
something that I always say here in the channel. I'm Latin, and when you live in Europe, Latin people do not understand this. Being in Latin America, when you come to Europe, every now and then, you are even if by chance categorized as a Latin person. You know, uh, how are your feelings, especially living in a Western country? How are your feelings toward this dehumanization of an entire country, an entire civilization, not even just a country, an entire civilization? And why are you so scared?
No, I'm scared because of the stupidity of Europe. I mean, they are morons. Their political elites are cowards. They are wusses, who never experienced any difficulty, and the only thing they want to, and their so-called expert class, something like Council on Foreign Relations, a bunch of the clowns with degrees in nothing. The political science is not science, okay? There's no such thing as political science. So, and all those people writing all kinds of garbage, okay, garbage, literally. It's academically, it's the, you know what, a freshman in some kind of their study probably will write in no way inferior article, okay? And that's what they do. I look at them and all those so-called experts. West doesn't have experts in Russia, period. When John Mearsheimer comes out there trying to, pretend that he knows he doesn't know crap, basically. So so that's who they are, and but that's why I'm scared, because these morons, because they're stupid, they may at some point of time commit suicide by the cop. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm scared. And listen, let's not beat around the bush. I am the Western man as most of Russians, by the way, by education, by culture, and things like that. And my art tastes are Western by definition, as they are for majority of Russians. But you have to understand, the way Western civilization exists today, it cannot exist anymore. And when we talk about the Untermensch, yes, in the eyes of European elites, I am Untermensch. I am an Asiatic core. And as Stas once stated, they still cannot get over this what is called the cognitive dissonance in Europe, because they look at us and we're like, yeah, look at this, yeah, blue eyes and thing. These are not Asian. Oh, okay. They find some guy who is actually probably Buryat or something. He does look Asian, but they are Russian people. They're wonderful, citizens and things like that. But I mean, for the most part, the Russians are Slavs. But again, do not forget, ideas of the racial superiority are still there, and they will be living in concentration camps, and they will be converted to Islam and Sharia, and will become Hanat, like it's going to happen with France. It's already happening there, actually, but they still will consider themselves to be irresistible, despite the fact that Paris stinks with urine. It's dirty, and it's a filthy place, bar some touristy places. Same goes for London. Germany is done. I mean, this is completely culture which is degenerate in its, foundation. And so when you look at this, yeah, sure. What they don't understand, that Russians look at them with contempt now. This is the most important tectonical shift which happened in Russian society since the time of the Soviet Union, when Soviets, due to a number of factors, were admiring, European culture, whatever, European economy, consumer patterns. Today, it's absolutely not the case. First, Russians are beginning to live better than most of Europe. Fact is, yeah, than Europe. And so that's the thing which they cannot wrap their brains around. And yeah, remember this idiot from US State Department, from European Commission 4 years ago, when she stated that now Putin and his circle cannot shop in Paris. Oh my God, what a horrible, horrible, calamity. You cannot go into this, crappy place, which used to be something thinking about themselves. They cannot forgive the fact that for centuries, Russia beat the crap out of them, no matter how they tried. And they cannot still forgive it. Who were French? French have been humiliated by Russians. Actually, it was, many people forget, these were Russian troops and Tsar Alexander I who entered Paris in 1814. And, what can I say? Then Berlin was taken twice by Russians, Poles, they ceased to exist as the empire with the aspirations. Sweden, same thing, So Russians beat the crap out of every of them, And the last one was unified West in 1945, have been absolutely pulverized by the Red Army. So they cannot cope anymore. They have to invent these things, like Russians raped 2.5 million women, German women. Sure, why stop on 2.5 million? Let's go for 10, man. Yeah, just why, stop here? And this is what they cannot forgive, and they will never forgive it. But such as they exist today, they are dying, and they will be dead in, well, it's already actually, you have the necrosis of such nations as United Kingdom, albeit they finally kind of woke up. But yeah, France is done. It's over for French as people. So Germany is done. The Dutch, Netherlands, and all that, they are all drugs, prostitution. They count it as the gross domestic product. I'm not kidding you. They count prostitution and selling of drugs as the productive force. These are degenerate, as the playground of Satanists. Have you seen the opening of the Paris Olympic Games? That's your answer.
Yeah. Not only that, the Winter Games also here in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, it's over. It's over. Europeans have to understand that it's over. They are dead as civilization, and good riddance.